Okay, good morning. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. We are into some Pilates intervals. This is the last Pilates intervals class of 2021. So we're going to finish off with a bang. While I'm demonstrating, as usual, I want you to get started with your upper body. Neck circles, shoulder circles, arm circles, maybe some forward folds. I will finish us off with our warm-up, and then we'll get into it. Okay? So for number one, I'm going to be using, once again, a light weight in my left hand because I'm still dealing with this elbow situation. I think it actually is going to be really good for it to have a break. But anyhow, so I'll be switching up my weights. You can stick with the weights that you've got if your arms feel good. So number one, we're going to be coming into our squat nice and square, and we're going to bring the arms out in front of us. Now I'm going to say swing, but I don't mean swing. Let's say place the weights out front and bring them back. Okay, so as we squat, we bring the weights out. We have this moment in time where we're in our squat, and then we stand tall. So yes, it feels a little bit like a swing, but I just really want you to be in control of those weights as they're moving around. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, we'll bring the weights to our chest, and we're gonna curtsy side to side. So just our nice little curtsies, staying really tall, keeping our abdominals on, and just visualizing that corset wrapping around you as you move around through space side to side. Okay, so that's number one and number two. Number three, we have, we're going to come down to a plank. I have a modification for this, so I'll just show the full exercise first. So we're going to come down, step into our plank here, and we're going to go from narrow legs, start in narrow legs. We're going to go out wide, wide, narrow, narrow, and then two mountain climbers, and start again. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow, two little mountain climbers, and back into it. At the halfway mark, we're going to bring our knees down, and we're going to row and float. Other side, row and float, keeping our spine long. So that's a half and half, okay? At the halfway mark, we change it up. Now, a modification for the plank, if it's not working for you, you're going to stay in all fours, row, row, and then two knee hovers. One and two, okay? So instead of that planking, that's your modification. Number four, we're going to come into a side bend. So I'd actually think maybe if you guys can do this one with me as I show you, just so that you have really got a feel for it, okay? So we'll be on our side. Your hand is about 2 feet, give or take, away from your hip. And I've got my ankles crossed so that the front heel is pushing into the back foot ankle, okay? So as we come up, we keep this bottom knee down. We go up here to this side plank. Then we rotate into a little thread through, so like you're threading your arm through. And then you open, and then you lower your hips, and you start again. Really important to be nice and strong through this shoulder. We don't want to be sinking into the shoulder. We want to keep pressing the floor away and stay lifted. So again, it goes, we go up, we thread through, we open back up, and we lower the hips, okay? And then at the halfway mark, we'll switch it over and do the other side, okay? Then number five, we're coming to our tummy, and we're going to have our thumbs pointing upward. So wide arms, like a Y shape, wide legs, and we're going to exhale, float everything, inhale down. Now this is going to be a great opportunity to catch our breath, and the thumbs are up, we're squeezing our shoulder blades down. At the halfway mark, we're just going to alternate between legs and arms. So same motions, but with keeping one down, okay? You're anchored by your abdominals here, they're lifting up away from the mat. And then number six, grabbing our weights, we'll come all the way through onto our back. I have a modification here, so we'll start with the full exercise. We're going to be in imprint. We're going to skull crush, which just means we bring our weights past our head, elbows point up to the ceiling, and at the same time, we're going to reach the legs. Okay, so as I bring the weights overhead, my legs reach. As I come back, the weights go up, the knees come in. So exhale here. Inhale back. Now the modification, we keep our arms right where they are and we push out and come in. And you just focus on your breathing and keeping your lower back imprinted, okay? That's modification. For fine tuning today, we'll be turning to our side, stacking up the hips and the legs, and we're gonna bring one arm out here and we're gonna flex up and push the air down into our hip. And we'll start here like with the left side on the first round, and we'll do the other side on the next round, okay? So I'm scooping up the air, I'm activating my underarm muscles, I'm bringing the head up to look over my hip, and I'm just moving into that nice little side crunch, okay? I know it seems like a lot. As usual, I will get you through the first round and then it'll start to feel really a lot smoother. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the music and get us into, finish up our warm up and then we're into it. Here we go. Okay, right on. You guys can see me okay? All right, so let's get to the end of our mat here. Hopefully the upper body has been done. Roll your shoulders back a couple of times. Start to draw in really nice and connected with your abdominal muscles. Little micro bend in the knees. Nod your chin and fold forward. Take a big breath into your lower back here. Exhale, ragdoll up, scoop in the belly, stack your spine, and then roll those shoulder blades back. Again, nod the chin and soften your sternum. Lift the abdominals as we fold. Big breath at the bottom. And exhale. Coming all the way up. Let's reach our arms out wide. Into some side bends, side to side. Visualize you're between two pieces of glass. Your hips and ribs are stacked on top of each other. Just getting that nice lateral bend through the spine. Feels so good. Awesome, one more. Coming to center, hands to heart center. We're gonna step forward into a lunge. So stepping forward and push back. Other side, step forward and push back. Just taking a pace that works for you. We're just warming up all of our joints. Stay tall here. And we're going to add a rotation here, stepping forward, rotate over the front leg, come back to center, and push back. Step forward, rotate, come back to center, and push back. Just a couple more. Getting that nice mobility through the upper spine. And last one here. Back to center. Awesome. Finishing it back at the top of your mat. Let's just come into some heel raises. Up. Waking up the feet and the ankles. And finally, let's forward fold. Walk yourself out to a downward dog and just very gently pedal your feet out. Really lift through the abdominals. And can you engage your underarm muscles more by pushing your pinky fingers into the floor? And one more time, let's bring both heels up. And gently release them to the floor. We're holding there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold. Release your head, shake your head no. Shake your head yes. And then ragdoll up. Push your feet into the floor, stack your spine. And I think we're ready to go. So grabbing onto your weights, I'm going to set our timer here. Okay, we've got this, grabbing those weights. So come to a hip width stance, feet are both parallel. And as we go down into our squat, we're going to bring the arms out in front of us. Take a second and then press up. So there's kind of a slow pace to this. Once you're down in that squat, you want to perfect it. Lift the toes, making sure your weight is in your heels. Pull the tummy in. Lift the chest. Nice, keeping that spine nice and long. Down and up. And see if you can squeeze your weights just a little bit more and control them as they move through the air. Keep thinking about your rib cage that's knitting down towards the pelvis. Nice work, you guys. 15 seconds here. Coming up next, we have our curtsy side to side. And let's keep our head in line with our spine. Yes. There we go, last one. Weights come to your chest. When you're ready, staying tall, curtsy side to side. Only as deep in that curtsy as your knees feel comfortable. And for the first time today, let's check in with our breathing. See if you can lengthen it out, slow it down. The breathing, not the legs. Nice controlled movement. So coming up next, we have that plank combination. So the feet start narrow. We step out wide, wide, narrow, narrow, and then 2 little mountain climbers. 15 seconds here. Stick with it. Keep checking in on different parts of your body. Awesome work, you guys. When you're ready, put your weights down and step out to your plank. Feet start narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow, in, and start again. Now, if that's not working, as I mentioned, you're just gonna row, row, and 2 knee hovers. That's your modification. Lift the abdominals, squeeze the glutes. Now, great work. Come down, bring the knees down, row one arm, and then float the weight above your head. Other side, row and float. We're lifting the abdominals. The belly button stays exactly where it is. Drawing up away from the mat. Same abdominals you would have if you were still in your plank. Moving from the shoulder. There we go, last one. Great work, we're coming into that side bend now. Come onto your left hip, hook your feet together. We're up, rotate, reach, and down. Up, rotate, pushing the floor away with your whole palm. Engage those underarm muscles. That looks awesome, you guys. Making sure that as you're lowering, you're not sinking into your shoulder, okay? Really control it. Great job. Switching sides. Set it up with the top leg, heel is in front. And then when you're ready, you come up, rotate, and open, lower down. Up, around, nice and wide, and lower the hip. Really activating that underside of the body. Nice work, you guys look awesome. All right, and flipping onto your tummy. Thumbs are up, your arms are in a Y shape. Legs are wide, kneecaps are down. Float everything and lower. Exhale, float. And back. You've got energy running through your arms and legs. Everything stays the exact same shape as it floats. The nose is hovering. Think about your shoulder blades gliding down as the arms lift. Now we're going to just go with just your legs. Legs only and lower. Arms only and lower. We alternate between the two for this last half. Keeping the abdominals connected underneath you. Reaching through the arms and legs. Just be sure you have space between your arms and your ears. All of this is less is more here. Doesn't have to be very high to be effective. Awesome work. Push through, all the way through to your back, into your imprint, grabbing your weights. Legs are up. We're going to skull crush, so the arms go overhead, and at the same time the legs reach. And then they return. The angle you send your legs out is going to be different for everybody. You would never want to take it so far that you can't maintain your imprint. Can we drop our belly button down as the legs reach out? We're halfway there. Big exhale. The weights and your legs are going in opposite directions, so you're really staying anchored in the center. We'll be turning onto our side for fine tuning here. Let's go there now. Let's turn to the right side. Stack your knees right on top of each other. Your top arm floats. You lift the head, look over your shoulder, and get a nice little side body squeeze. Exhale up. Inhale down. Your bottom arm can be reaching out in front of you. Imagine you're pushing that air down past your hip. Just finding that oblique. Can you bring your belly button close to you? There's our last one. Nice work. Grab a sip of water and we'll be into round 2. Set everything back up. All right. So, lots coming at you here. Just listen to my voice as I lead you through it. 15 seconds. We're going to start off with those squats. All right, so hip width apart, maybe a little wider. Draw in through your tummy, squeeze your glutes, and then come down into your squat and stand tall. Push the floor away as you stand. Find the glutes every single time. At the top, you feel your glutes engage. You also feel your tummy draw in. Think about your shoulder blades here. Draw them back as you stand tall. We're over halfway. Do a little scan through, check in on your feet. Can you lift your toes when you're in that squat? We've got this. Awesome work. Weights come to your chest, into your curtsies, side to side. Checking in on your breathing, long, deep breaths. So next we have that plank with the leg movement, and then the second half, everybody's knees are down, and we squat, or sorry, we don't squat, we row and float the arm. Nice work. Let's get a little taller. Can you drop a little tension out of the shoulders? Keep those shoulder blades drawing down and back. So good, you guys. Come to your mat, down into your plank when you're ready. Narrow feet to start. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. 2 mountain climbers. Start again. Let's keep our head in line with spine. Lift your tummy. The head is going to want to fall down here. Keep shining the neck to the ceiling. Okay, everyone come down, all fours. Row one arm and then float it overhead. Other side. Stay super square here. Keep your spine reaching. Be in control of that weight as it floats up and as it comes down. Awesome work, you guys. Into our side bends. Set it up, plant your whole palm and then pressing up, rotate down, open it up and lower your hip. And just take your time here, making sure you can feel that your underarm muscles are engaged and working for you. Once you establish those, check in on your abdominals. And let's switch sides. Right away, hook those ankles together. And we're up. The coming down is as important as the going up, okay? Come down with control with that hip. Up, rotate, open, and lower with control. Looking good. So good. Turning onto your tummy. Look, thumbs are up. Legs are wide, arms are wide. Exhale, float everything. Inhale, lower with control. We're just really waking up the back of the body here, the posterior chain. Make sure you're recruiting your glutes. If you feel your lower back, the legs might be going too high. So just keep it in that idea of a reach through the body instead of Let's go to alternating now. So instead of thinking about lifting the legs, think about reaching them long and having them hover. So we're alternating between legs and arms now. Can you draw those shoulder blades down? Such a great exercise for anyone that's on the computer a lot or driving a lot. All right, you guys, all the way through to your back. Bring your weights with you and find your imprint. Legs are up, arms are up, and then the weights go over the head as the legs push out. And back. Huge exhale. Elbows are pointing straight up to the ceiling. We're actually working our triceps a lot here too, although sometimes it's hard to find them with all this other movement happening at the same time. Stay connected with your imprint here. So we will be turning over onto your left side this time for our fine tuning. You guys can just flip right over and I'll just adjust myself so I can see the screen. Okay, here we go. You're going to flip over onto your left side. Bottom arm reaches in front. We're up and we're curling up to the side. Pushing the air down right into the hip. I like to think about like I'm scooping up the air and pushing it down on top of my hip. Your eyes follow your hand. And can you bring your belly button in? Long spine here. And let that go. Awesome work, you guys. Round 2 is done. Hopefully that round felt a little smoother. I know it's a lot of transitions, but it's really good to challenge your body to just do a whole bunch of different stuff all at the same time. If we don't challenge it, it gets a little complacent. It's kind of good to keep it guessing. All right, so coming up with those squats. Draw in through your tummy. Squeeze your glutes, fire up the legs a little bit, and let's do this. Floating out and pressing up. Really squeeze your weights. Keeping the chest nice and lifted. Send those sit bones right behind you like you're trying to sit down on a low bench. When you stand tall, can you find your abdominals? Draw them in. We're halfway. And just scan down to your feet. Pinky toes are glued to the floor. "15 seconds. Big exhales. Squeeze. Nice work. There's our last one. We're coming into our curtsies. To the chest. And side to side. Let's see if we can pick up our pace just a little. Challenge ourselves here. floating off that front leg as you come back to standing. We're halfway there. Let's squeeze our shoulder blades back. Open the chest a little more. "20 seconds. It's a lot of curtsies. Whew. All right, coming to your mat in the center, down to your plank. Narrow feet to start. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. 2 mountain climbers. Start again. Keep breathing. Lift your hips a little higher. Stay strong in your shoulders. Nice work. Bring those knees down. Square it off. Keep reaching your spine. Row. Float. And the other side. Abdominals are lifting the whole time here to anchor you. Keep breathing. Awesome work. Let go of those weights into our side bend. Hook the ankles. Get nice and solid through that palm and you're up. Rotate up and down. Just take a pace that works for you. That bottom shoulder should feel strong and solid. Use your whole palm here, including your fingertips. And there's our last one on this side, switching sides. Right away, find that position and you're back up. Rotate, up and lower. Nice work. Think about moving your thoracic spine, your rib cage, into that nice rotation. Feels good to mobilize the mid-back. Awesome. Come down to your tummy. Thumbs are up. Wide arms, wide legs. Here we go. Hover everything and lower with control. Think about the hips, think about the shoulders. Exhale up, inhale down. As we float, the belly button draws up as well. Big full body move with lots of control. There's our halfway. Now start with alternating. Just the arms, just the legs. Draw those shoulders away from the ears as the arms lift. Great work all the way through, grabbing your weights, imprint, legs are up. Let's do this. Staying really solid in the center, use your breath here. Big exhales. The belly button is dropping into the spine. the rib cage draws down as those weights go over your head. We're halfway. We'll be turning onto our right side for those side crunches. Big exhales here. Awesome work. Turn to your right. The bottom arm is long and the top arm flexes up. Look over your shoulder. Draw the belly button into you. Even in side lying, we want to be nicely stacked up. Squeeze your inner thighs here. Push them into each other. So good. There's our break. Grab some water. We're almost there. Keep our pace here for the last round. Especially with these first two, let's try to keep a pace that feels challenging, okay? All right, setting up. We've got this. Wide stance, squeeze your glutes, draw in through your tummy. We're going for it. Down and up. Really push the floor away. Imagine you're on a leg press. You're trying to push the floor down below you. Finding your abdominals and your glutes at the top of that range. Let's think about the mid-back. Already halfway there. Push the floor away. Activate those legs. Keep the weight in the heels. We've got this. 10 seconds. Nice job. Into your curtsies. All right, here we go. This is our last round. We don't have to see these curtsies for a long time. Stay tall. Picture that internal seat belt wrapped around your center, like you're wearing a belt that's just slightly too small. Nice work, we're halfway there. Let's keep this pace looking awesome. Stay tall, keep those shoulder blades gliding down your back. As we get tired, it's easy to let these weights pull you forward. You've got this. All right, 10 seconds, dig deep. Nice work. Awesome. Okay, come to the center of your mat. When you're ready, into that plank. Lift your abdominals, squeeze your glutes. Wide, wide. Narrow, narrow, 2 mountain climbers. Keep breathing. So important to use your breath here. Neck is reaching. Awesome, you guys. Keep it up. Almost there. Draw those abdominals up more. All right, lower your knees. Keep those abs with you. Row, float, row, float. Moving from the shoulder. Big exhales. Is your head still in line with your spine? So great, you guys. Off we go into our side bends. Hook those ankles, set it up well, and then we're into it. Rotate, open, lower. Really squeeze the glutes as we hold ourselves up here. It's a combined effort between the abs and the glutes and the underarm muscles. Basically, it's everything. Open and lower. And let's go off to the other side. Set it up. Nailing it. You guys look awesome. Stay strong in that underside arm, your stabilizing arm. Keep pushing the floor away. So great. Onto your tummy. Thumbs up. Legs wide, arms wide, and we hover. And down. Doesn't have to be very high to be effective. Just make sure you feel really anchored by your abdominals here. They're continuously drawing upward from the mat. And now we're into alternating. Arms one, and then legs. Can you put more control into the lowering? Great work, keep breathing. We're into those abs all the way through. Grab your weights, imprint your lower back, and when you're ready, you're into that combined move. Skull crush with the leg reach. Maybe you challenge yourself by sending the legs out a little bit more, away from you, away from the ceiling. The lower they go, the more challenging it is, but we never want to compromise that imprint. Can you drop the belly button a little more? Stay really heavy through the pelvis and rib cage. And we'll be going to the left side. To finish, you guys can just flip over like we did before, and I'll adjust. Awesome. Okay, onto your left side. Stack the hips. Bottom arm reaches out. Top arm floats up. We curl up to look over the hip. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep energy in this arm that's moving. Draw in through your tummy. Awesome work, you guys. I'm going to take us through a little cool down. Come right onto your back. Whew. Nice job. Let's let our arms go out wide, palms up. Bring your feet wide as well so that your pinky toes are off the mat. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. Notice your heart rate should be elevated. And then let's go into our side-to-side windshields here. Just take your time with it. Just getting some nice mobility through our hips. Great. Let both knees fall over to the left. Drag your right arm up and over into a side bend. And then tuck your tailbone underneath you, hopefully increasing that stretch in the front of the right hip. You can feel it right down into your knee sometimes, all through the rib cage. Breathe deeply. Great, and then bring the arm down, unwind the legs, and let them come over to the right now, tipping over. The left arm comes up and over into your side bend. And then tuck the tailbone under. And you should get a nice line of tension through the front of the hip, into the hip flexor here. If you're not feeling anything, bring the heel a little closer to the bum. One more big breath there. And come back to center, keeping the arms wide here. Bring the legs and feet back together. And then hook your knees over top of each other, like I always say, like sitting like a lady. So hook the right leg over the left leg, and then very, very gently and slowly, you're gonna let those legs tip over to the left and get a nice big twist through the spine. Try to keep both shoulder blades reaching for the floor. And very gently coming back through center, and we switch the legs, left one over the right. And then, keeping your arms heavy, let the legs tip off to the right. Sometimes you might get a little snap, crackle, pop through the back here, through the spine. One more breath. Coming back to center, let's wrap the arms up into eagle arms, twisting them up into each other. Pull the shoulder blades away from each other, and then gently move your elbows up and down. We worked the upper back and the shoulder blade area a lot today. So it wouldn't be totally crazy if you feel that area in the next day or so. And one more time, up and down. And then open the arms and wrap them up the other way. barely do this one today. My left shoulder is so tight. All right, wrap them up the best you can. There we go, I got it. And then gently moving the elbows up and down. And then gently let that go, opening back up. Let's turn to our side. Coming up to seated. And let's keep the right leg long and the left one comes across it. And we're going to come into, again, another twist, but you're going to take this right arm, grab your left knee, hook them together. And you're really giving a nice pull with this arm to get your glutes, the side of your hip. And then you could look over your shoulder to find that full twist. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of something in that hip, in the glute. Awesome. Release that when you're ready and switch sides. Cross it over, hook the elbow into the knee, give it a nice pull across, and then rotate around. Try to stay as tall as you can here. Big difference for me on my left and right. My left hip is so tight. Basically, the left side of my body is failing me. Awesome, one more breath. Coming back to center, let those legs go wide. And let's finish with our forward fold. So get tall first, root through your sit bones, reach through the crown of your head, then nod your chin and walk your hands out away from the pelvis like you're reaching your spine in front of you, maintaining the shape of a rainbow, big and rounded. And let's breathe into our lower back. We want to stay lifted here rather than sinking down. Maybe we bring our toes up to point at the ceiling. Awesome. One more big breath there. And then reconnect with your abdominals. Draw up and in. And walk your hands slowly back. Feel your spine start to stack from the bottom all the way up until your head is back up and reaching tall. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here this morning. This is our last Pilates intervals for 2021, but we'll get back to it in 2022 with high hopes for a better year. But I do have one more Pilates flow class happening on Tuesday, though, just so you know, if you want to come. All right? Have an awesome weekend, you guys. Thank you so much. Take care.